What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, and today I'm going to be walking you through and giving you some information about the Go Code Overland D-Pillar Threshold Trim Kit. It's a mouthful, but it makes your van build come along quite nicely. So if you guys are new here, I appreciate you stopping by and watching the video. Consider subscribing if you find this video useful. We do a lot of things here, not just van build stuff, photography and Subaru stuff and Lexus stuff and adventure stuff. So if you like this video, consider subscribing and coming along for more adventures. And I want to thank the sponsor of today's video and pretty much every single video you will see here on the channel. That is Adventure Rig Shop. AdventureRigShop.com is where you can source this D-Pillar trim kit for your Sprinter van, and I will leave the link in the description for you to check that out. You can use the code NOMAD at checkout to save yourself 5% on anything that you find there. And now that the bills are paid, let's get into talking about the Threshold Trim Kit, how it can help your van build, and how easy it is or isn't to install. So if you're part of the DIY van build crew and the group of people of us who want to take building your van on by yourself, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And you've probably ran into these problems already. If not, you're looking for a solution, and that's probably why you're here. So there's three technically, areas inside your Sprinter van specifically, and I know that there are pain points for the Transit and ProMaster, but we're not talking about Transit and ProMaster. I have a 22 Sprinter 170, and when we were redoing the van and we were kind of going through the process, there's 3 points. There are the two big foam blocks that are above the driver and the passenger seating area. There is that bare metal space over your slider door, and then there is the D-pillar, which is the very back opening where your back doors open. There is that big upside down, it's an N, so it doesn't need to be an upside down U because it is an N. That big shape, that big area that's just really exposed metal. It's where all your ground wires are up on the top right. And it's just, those are the three ugliest points of your Sprinter van. And if you're doing this yourself, you've probably racked your brain about different ways to come up with a solution, and there's probably more solutions than the one I'm showing you, but this is the one I know of and the one I'm using, and how to cover those areas and just make them good. So without going down a deep rabbit hole, the front part of your Sprinter van where your passenger and driver seat are, that whole area can be covered by the Go Code Threshold, the B-Pillar Trim Kit, and the Overslider Kit. I already did a video on that. I will put that video up here or here, whichever. So you can go take a look at that one as well, because you can match your B-Pillars and your D-Pillar to make it this all custom look. And I think that's the problem with those specific areas is if you're not a carpenter, you can upholster them, and I've seen people upholster them. I don't think it looks that great. It's really hard to make it look good, but these components from Go Code Overland make this process easier. So in the description, you'll find a link for two kits, the Threshold, the B-Pillar and Overslider Threshold Kit, and then the D-Pillar Threshold Kit as well. Basically what it is it's ABS plastic, and it is injection molded. I don't know if that's really the right term, but essentially it's molded to fit those areas specifically. I've had this sitting in my garage for about 6 months, so I've just been putting it off because my van is already built. So I knew installing the D-Pillar kit, it was going to require some trimming. It was going to require me really taking all the walls down, not all the walls, the rear walls down, undoing my wheel well boxes from the wall, disconnecting my electrical system, removing my bed and my mattress. So I've just been putting it off. But this week, my buddy was here from out of town, so I had an extra set of hands, and it was just a perfect opportunity for us to kind of tear everything out. And I also had some issues with my van speed capsule leaking, so I will be doing a video probably on how to protect your van speed capsules from leaking. It's something that happens pretty commonly, and it's just because I did not take care of it, but we'll get into that on a different video. So what we did is we removed everything, and we needed to get these 2 pieces of plastic, or 3 pieces of plastic installed. Well, if you already have your van built, then your walls are cut to a specific length, your ceiling is cut to a specific length, your floor is cut to a specific length. So if you have not installed your ceilings, walls, and floors, it is a great time to pick up the Go Code D-pillar threshold trim kit, simply because you can then cut your walls to match the contours of the trim kits. But essentially, it goes on with a couple of screws and a couple of rubber tabs. Those little push pins is what holds the top piece in. They also come with a couple of riv nuts, and if you've done anything in your van, you've probably used a riv nut or 1,000. So it comes with a riv nut kit that you can use for the top over slider, or I'm sorry, over the top threshold piece. You can add riv nuts and then put screws into it. And then on the sides, there are factory grab handle screws that the side pieces connect to. And I know I'm going through like kind of a long-winded explanation of this, and I'm trying to like give you detail and verbiage, but you're probably seeing it in video. The reason that this was such a big deal for us is because it allowed me to make my van look like it was professionally finished. And if you don't have anything installed in your van yet, this is going to speed up your process of mostly just being annoyed of trying to figure out a way to get this done. But it will give you a complete like custom finish, like a van builder built your van. And that's why this product for me, like it's super dope and it's super easy to use. It doesn't even come with instructions. So simply you install your top piece first. Your top piece goes on first, and you can use your push pins to kind of put them in there. I'm using push pins, but what I ordered was off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description, and they're just more beefy. Those rubber, I don't even know how to explain it, but it just goes into the hole and it holds everything tight, and the rubber, and you pull them back out. It's kind of like those caps that hold on trim pieces on your vehicle. But I ordered new ones off Amazon because the ones they send you aren't really strong enough to hold the over slider piece in, or the rear top part in. So what I did was I ordered some off Amazon, and I put the top pieces in, and then the side pieces just go on right over top of those. And then on the side pieces, you use the grab handle bolts to fasten that to the wall. And then you go back through, which they don't send you for whatever reason, but I added more push pins to all the open hole sections just to give it some additional rigidity, but then make it look like a cleaner finish. So you don't get the little push pins for every single hole on the Go Code or the Go Code kit. I have no idea why. It probably wouldn't cost too much to add those in there. So that's something just to be mindful of. I'll put the link in the description so you can get the same push pin kit that I got, and it just cleans everything up and makes everything look really good. But if you notice on my van, because my walls are already installed, I had to cut about 1.5 inches off the top of my ceiling, which I'm going to just put a trim piece up there, like that was there before, so it's not a big deal. You won't be able to tell that I had to cut anything off. But on the sides, my threshold kit is actually on the outside of my wall panels when it's supposed to be on the inside of your wall panels, and then the wall panels get pushed up against the kit to flush everything in and make it really tight and nice. Because I didn't want to take my walls out, unupholster them, cut them to size, reupholster them, and put them back up, I just have the flanges sitting on the outside of the wall panels. So to me, it's not a big deal. It still looks 1,000 times better than it did, but if you're building your van from the beginning, you'll be able to do this at the very beginning, and you won't have those flanges sticking out of the walls. Now the floor, because the floor kit that I had purchased from Surge Supply, I will put the link to like the floor kit, the ceiling kit, the wall panel kit, the stuff that I purchased. It all comes in a kit. I'll put the links in the description to that, just because it's a really easy way to convert your van yourself without trying to get a bunch of paper templates and cut everything out. It's a much simpler process, and it's going to save you a lot of time. For me, time was more important than the couple of extra dollars I had to spend on the kit, but that's besides the point. But the floor kit comes cut to the contour of my Sprinter 170. The problem with that is the Go Code kit, the threshold kit, actually sticks out further. So I had to use a multi-tool, an oscillator, and kind of just keep making cuts along my floor to get my Go Code kit to fit in my floor. In my rubber floor, I was able to pull up and then lay it back down and cut with a razor knife to kind of match the contour of the Go Code threshold kit. There was a lot of little things that I had to do to get this installed that you will not even have to consider doing if you do this from the beginning and you build your van with these pieces in mind. But when I was building my van, these pieces didn't exist. So I was just kind of trying to figure it out, and I just left those spots bare metal for the last 2 years because I didn't have a solution for it, and I didn't think upholstering it was the best look. So I left it, but now it's no longer looks terrible inside my van. Everything is covered on the rear D-pillar section. The black plastic is pretty good. It is what it is, I guess is the best way to put it. It's plastic, but it is a cleaner, more professional looking finish than you're probably going to get with upholstery. And if you're not a carpenter, it's going to be difficult for you to build something or make something work there that looks good. I think it takes van builders a long time to figure out how to make those spaces work, and this kit really eliminates all of that. You can run your wires back down there now. I was able to get my USB and USB-C port installed into the trim kit. So overall, it's a really good quality product that speeds up your van build, and there's nothing else like it on the market really. So it's not like you have a whole bunch of options here. But for me, it's just one of those things that I thought that, okay, I'm tearing my van apart to do this. I wanted to at least do a video to explain to you guys how to do it. It's very simple. It doesn't take a lot of work. But if you have your van already built, then you can probably expect this to be a 5-hour project. At least that's what it turned into for me. So if you have any more questions about the Go Code threshold kit, just leave a comment. I will definitely answer your comments. I'll give you as much advice as I can. You can follow me on Instagram and send me a message there. That's usually the best way to get in contact with me quickly, and I will be happy to help you in any way that I can, kind of give you some information about how this process went for me and what you can expect, or if you're running into an issue in the middle of it, I'd be happy to give you some assistance if at all possible. So sorry for the long-winded explanation. I was trying to figure out a good way to explain to you how this product goes in your van. I hope it was helpful. If it was, consider liking it, subscribe to the channel, follow along for more adventures, and I'll see you on the next one.